You found the Live Local Marketing Podcast, where business owners share their knowledge about what's working in the market today. No fluff, just their experiences and stories from people who are making it happen. And if authentic, practical marketing resonates with you, be sure to visit livelocalwarmmarketing.com and learn to grow your business on warm marketing referrals. Now, on to the show. Welcome. You have found the Live Local Marketing Podcast. Today, we are with Lisa Raebel. How are we feeling today?
I'm feeling great. Yes, I've caffeinated. I'm good. Let's go.
You're caffeinated, ready to go. All right, awesome. So today we have Lisa Raebel. She's founder, author, speaker, and chief storyteller of the Rebel Girl Marketing. She has over 30 years experience in sales and marketing, and she's created the Rebel Mindset, which I'm sure we'll get into today. It's a bold, practical approach that helps businesses in their day-to-day by ditching random acts of marketing and focusing on what actually drives sales. She's known for helping professionals make unforgettable first impressions and for providing everything is marketing, from the first hello to the final handshake. Now, she had two versions of this intro. She had a drunk version too that I was going to read to you guys, but I didn't go with it today. This is the toned down and easy version of that intro. So do know there's more.
You need to. That's fine.
Yes, that's right. Do know there's more creative going on. All right, ma'am. Are we ready for this first question?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. So talk about, as an entrepreneur, a loss that you would consider now a win.
I'm actually currently experiencing a loss that I have this absolute belief that will be turned into a win. So I was doing a speaking event on the power of your pitch, and a sales guy was in there for a local company, a pretty big local company actually. And he introduced me to the sales manager. And I talked to her, and after talking to her, she's like, yeah, this is great. This is exactly what we need. And then she completely ghosted me. Like, no return phone calls, no return emails. She didn't even accept my LinkedIn profile. And the reason I think this is still going to be a win is that during that conversation, I think I opened a box of worms that she wasn't planning on me opening. To the point where it's like, you have a customer experience, right? You don't know they exist, that you know they exist. You try to sell to them, you sell to them, you work with them, then it ends, right? The whole customer experience. I think I found a couple of gaps, not even just a couple. I found some gaps in their customer experience. And I think she was blindsided by that conversation. And I'm really hoping when she marinates that on a little bit more, that it'll come back to be like, yeah, Lisa, I think we need your help, filling the gaps in our customer experience. So I think it was more of a shock. And I'm waiting for that phone call for her to go, yeah, I think when I'm ready, because that's it. I mean, when you're a consultant, you have to wait for the customer to be ready. You might be ready for them to help, and you know that they need help, but unless they're ready to be helped, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much work have you done on first impressions? How have you developed it? Have you worked on it?
A ton, because here, I'm going to say something. It's kind of a mic drop. Your pitch is your first impression. So how good is your pitch?
And yours is probably developed over the years to you're very confident. Yours is out there. This is it.
And I have multiple versions because the audiences are different. I could be networking in a general networking, and I have kind of this fun, until Disney catches up with me. I have this, I'm the Nanny McPhee of marketing. I help you till you need me, and then I'm gone. And people go, they either laugh and go, I get it, or they go, who's Nanny McPhee? But either way, it starts a conversation, right? And that's all your pitch is. It's just there to start a conversation. Because if you stand there and talk to somebody for 2 minutes, after about 8.25 seconds, you've already lost. They're they're planning what they're doing next. They're looking around the room, figuring out who they want to talk to instead. I mean, you got to have it short, quick, something engaging. So I do a lot of pitch work. Yeah.
A lot of pitch work. So let's move into the next section. So let's talk to us about how you set your goals and what your goals look like for this year.
So my goals are very short. I like the 12 week year, the concept where you plan for a quarter. What are my goals for this quarter? Because let's admit, after the past 6 years, we've realized stuff changes quickly, and so I can get a bigger client that I wasn't expecting. So the smaller stuff I have to put aside. So my goals are more I want to make sure that I have this much in my pipeline, and I want to make sure I have this much in revenue on a monthly basis, recurring revenue on a monthly basis, because I just ebb and flow based on, again, the need. I mean, I had a client, a prospect, I talked to him 2 years ago, and I actually thought he went out of business. And he called me and says, okay, I'm ready. And I'm like, wait, what? And so you have to ebb and flow with the business of ebbing and flowing, especially as a consultant. It's very easy to get bogged down with KPIs and metrics and things like that. But I have more of I want to make this much money this year, and this is the kind of client I want to work with. Yes. But how I get those clients, it's going to change every quarter. So the best way for me to do it is to make sure that my pipeline is full, that my networking is stellar, that I go exactly where I need to go. I'm not wasting time. And people know exactly what I'm doing, because I changed everything in 2026, the way I deliver my services. So I'm doing a lot of networking right now.
All right. So 2 years, that sparked that caught my attention. So what are you doing that you stayed in touch with him for 2 years, or if that he actually came back around? Like, what are your strategies for that?
I didn't. And that's the cool thing is that he follows me on my socials. And my socials are very authentic. My socials are very not in your face, but they're just truthful. Like, I got a lot of truth bombs in there, and I do video quite a bit, because I'm an experiential product. Like, you have to either, I'm going to resonate with you or I'm not. And I'm okay either way. But I'm not going to change who I am based on how you do your business. I am nothing but, if I don't think it's a good idea, I'm going to tell you why it's a bad idea. And then we're going to talk through it, and maybe a better idea is going to come out of it. So I'm not always the best person for everybody, but after 2 years, he's like, I've been watching you, and you said something on a video like 2 weeks ago. And he goes, I just realized it's time. And I was like, all right, let's go.
Crazy. That's persistence. That's very good. All right. So talk to us today. Talk to us about a cold marketing strategy is working right now in an example, and then a warm marketing strategy that you're using that's working in an example.
Okay. So a cold strategy, I think all social media feels like a cold strategy, because you never know who's going to see it, right? Because it's not owned media for us. It's not, the algorithms and the Google, LinkedIn, and Facebook and Pinterest gods are deciding who gets to see what and when. So for me, it's being consistent on social is a great way for people to experience who I am. Like, there's a woman I met not too long ago, and I got introduced by somebody else, like, oh, this is Lisa Raebel, Girl Marketing. She's like, I love your posts. And I'm like, okay. Like, she's never engaged with me. She's never liked a post. She's never commented on a post, but obviously she's watching, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's a good cold one. As far as a warm one is concerned, when I do speaking events, I usually get the list of attendees, and I don't add them to my, I'm not hammering them with emails, but something comes up, it's more like, oh, Lisa sent me an email, instead of like, there's another one of Lisa's emails. So for me, it's more like, you heard me speak on this. If you're interested in learning more, here's the next class, or here's the next free, like lunch and learn. And so that's a good warm way of doing it. And that's a good way for me to fill up my lunch and learns that I do for free, which reminds me now I have to set up for 26. And to my cohorts of 5 business owners. That's a really good way for me to do it. That's a nice warm one, but it's not overwhelming.
So what are your open rates? Your email, it seems like you're just doing value adds in your emails. Like, here's something. What do your open rates look like? And are you getting a lot of engagement through that?
I'm not getting a ton of engagement through that, but most of the click rates are like through blogs. Like, by the way, here's the blog that I just talked about, this particular topic. I've got a pretty good open rate and click rate based on my industry, but I don't have 2,000 people. I have a couple hundred people, because I don't add everybody that I meet off the street to my email list. That's not how I do business.
Okay. No, that's great. Excellent information. Name it, or talk about a strategy that you're done with. Like, this isn't working, and maybe it worked in the past. Now it doesn't. I'm done with it. It's obsolete in my business.
Massive amounts of networking.
Okay.
Like, I used to do, like, I would go to everything, and everything possible. Like if it was free, I'd be there networking, whether it had anything to do with my industry or not, because I was building my business and I didn't know. So for me, my networking is extremely strategic. Like it's almost like, you know, I don't know if you're a Seinfeld fan, but like,
go ahead.
Is it time worthy? I'm not going to say what the Seinfeld episode is, but if you know Seinfeld, you know what I'm talking about. But like, is it worth my time to go? Because it's not about the hour you're there. It's about, I'm sorry, for women, it's about getting ready. It's about getting in your car. It's about driving there. It's about doing the networking. It's about driving home. It's about the follow-up and all the things. So it's not just like, oh, I signed up for this 1 hour networking. A 1 hour networking thing is probably 4 hours of your life.
It's true. It's true.
So you have to like really be strategic about it. And I actually have an entire speaking thing on networking on purpose. So now I don't, over networking is out.
How do you know? How do you know those are your people? Like, is there something, there's a sign,
there's a word?
Oh, I mean, if you don't, if you're like looking at it, you're like, that's not for me. I can't do that one.
Actually, the best way to do it, honestly, is to go through the member list. And if there's a bunch of salespeople that are members, avoid it like the plague. They're just there to sell to you. They're not there to learn. The best business networking that I do actually has a rule that you're not allowed to sell. And it sounds counterintuitive.
No, it doesn't.
It's massive value add. And if people find you to have a value add, they'll come to you. And that's where I get most of my business is the networking that is like limits like you can't sell while you're here.
Yeah.
That makes any sense whatsoever.
No, absolutely. And I can see just by this quick conversation, the amount of value you're giving out is really where you get your business from. I can see it clearly. So when you sit down and talk to your clients and so forth about the idea of branding, how does that conversation look, especially if they're not on track with what their branding really is? Today, we have a quick break before we get to that next answer, because I know that answer is going to be brilliant, which is why I chose this moment to interrupt. If you love what you're seeing and you want to run your business off of warm marketing referrals, visit our website, livelocalwarmmarketing.com. It's got valuable resources, office hours, memberships, the book, an array of resources to help you get rid of cold calls, cold leads, door knocking, and run a business you can be proud of through referrals and warm marketing. Now, back to the show.
Well, most business owners aren't on track. They might think that they are, but they're not, because their idea of branding is color scheme, logo,
yes,
tagline, business name, all the things. Because there's a difference between your brand, which is all those things, and branding, which is what people say about you when you're not in the room.
Yes.
So how do people want to remember you? How do people talk about you when you're not in the room? Like I said, I know that's something that you've talked about on some of your other podcasts. And what's happening for me is I want people to go, Lisa explains things the way nobody else has ever explained it. It's simple, it's easy to understand, and I can apply it immediately. Because let's face it, in marketing, we can get really technical. We can get all, data and all the acronyms and stuff. But if your audience can't apply it, I mean, you're just another piece of noise like yapping in their ear. And so for me, it's your branding is how do you want people to know you? I mean, I have a client right now. It was a 90-year-old client. They never actually did marketing, but the fourth generation owner hired me for the marketing, and they waited for the phone to ring. And now they have to like push people off because they have so much business, because we talked about being known for doing the right thing the first time. I mean, they're mission critical fuel systems. I mean, you can't screw up on that. Somebody like it explode. So it's very important to like be known for doing it right the first time and the safety and stuff. And we push that out there, and it's amazing. We didn't push the product, we pushed the safety factor of it. And it's been really, really, really successful.
And that's where the teaching them how to fish mentality really, I'm sure, helps you.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So what's the best advice you've ever gotten for marketing?
So as a business owner myself, doing your own marketing is hard. And I completely get that. I mean, as a business owner, it's hard to talk about yourself. And it's not the, Midwest nice or the I don't want to be braggy kind of a thing. It's like sometimes you just can't find the words. So I have a book. It's called The Rebel Girl's Guide to Marketing. And I was recording the audiobook. And so I have a friend who's a life coach, and I kind of 911 texted her, and I'm like, I don't want to record my book. And she's like, why? And I go, I don't know. I just don't want to do it. And she goes, and so what she said to me is she said, who was your 9-year-old self? Like, who was Lisa at 9 years old? And I said, well, I was fearless. I was climbing trees, and I was, I was, playing on, like, I was like, it was the whole, like, when the street light comes on, you have to go home, and kind of a concept, right? Yeah, like there's drinking out of the hose, kind of that's how I grew up. And so, and they're like, so what was that? What was did you have a nickname when you were that age? And I said, yeah, my nickname was Charlie. Oh. And so she goes, well, let Charlie read the book.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
That's and good. I was like, well, dang, let me buy that cup of tea. But at the same time, so it's the best piece of advice I ever got about marketing was, who do you want people to know you as? Like, it's kind of funny. I have 5 basically personas. We all have multiple personas, by the way. Yeah. Like, you have the saboteur voice, you have cheerleader voice inside your head, you have yourself, for me, I have the drunk girl. And then I also have like the young, fun person, right? So like, who do I want people to see? And I just, sometimes I need to be extremely professional, and sometimes I just need to be my old goofball self and like have some fun with it. And that's how people really resonate with you. So the best marketing advice I ever got was like, how do you want to be seen? How do you want to be known?
Yeah. Different hats for different scenarios.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, different pitches for different scenarios. Yeah, 100%.
Got you. Yep. The first rule of marketing is you don't talk about marketing. Instead of the old Fight Club and multiple personas. Yeah. Fight Club reference. We're doing references today. We've had a few references going on. So
we have had a couple. Yeah.
All right. So for you, with the experience, you've done it a long time. You have the confidence. You've built it up over the years. Somebody who's not there yet, that is unsure of themselves, what kind of conversation do you have with them? What kind of advice would you give to them?
Well, I always start with the why. The Simon Sinek why. Like, why are you doing this in the first place? I mean, ask yourself that. I mean, the reason I say that most business owners don't understand their branding is because they've been doing it for so long, they forgot why they started their business in the first place. And so if we go back to like, why are you doing this? So like, the reason I started my own business is that corporate America marketing is very just the facts, ma'am. It's very like, what have you done for me lately? What are the numbers? I don't care how you get there, just get the numbers kind of a thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we forget about the customers. We forget about the employees. And I just knew there was a better way, especially for small business owners to do their marketing. And so ask yourself, why did I start this in the first place? Why is this industry so important to me? And why are my customers so important to me? And once you get those questions to that why, then you can build off of what you're going to do. I have a roofing client, and they do mostly schools, and they like school districts are their biggest bucket as far as you might want to concern, as far as industry is concerned. And it's because the business owner had kids, and his kids had a room, like, or when he was in high school or something, there's a room that the roof kind of fell in. Nobody was hurt or anything like that, but it kind of it was scary. So it goes back to that kind of, I want to make sure that the kids are safe in the school. I mean, that's his why. Like, I want to make sure the people inside the building are safe. And so once we figured that out, and again, safety became one of the key factors of our marketing message, it's amazing how much more business they got out of. We can fix your roof too. We want to make sure your people are safe. Same message, 2 totally different ways to deliver it.
That's wild. That's a great story. Yeah. And so to kind of sum things up a little bit, like, you have that story where you finished on the safety. You're kind of the opposite. You're like, you know what? I want to teach my people how to take some chances and to kind of learn and do some things that they maybe didn't have the confidence or didn't have the realization to. You sound like you're somebody that, take chances, do things, take opportunities, that kind of thing.
Well, you could be the unprofessional. Yeah, exactly. Rebel. Exactly. Then that's why I named my company this, is because I wanted to remind myself every day that I don't have to think like everybody else, and we don't have to do stuff like everybody else. So it's so funny. I was just having lunch yesterday with somebody I network with, and we came up with the unprofessional professional kind of description of me because
nice.
I know what I'm talking about. I know like what to do and how to apply it and all the things. I know how to teach you how to do all those things. But let's get rid of the professionalism and become more human. So how do we become that unprofessional professional what we do? So I don't know how I'm going to use it in my marketing, but I came up with it, said it yesterday, and I'm like,
it's going to do. We'd be surprised how often that actually lands with the audience too. When we don't think it will, it does.
Well, we put ourselves. So I have a thing that I talk about. It's always like, I don't like the word should. I mean, there's a place in it, but don't should on other people. I mean, I don't should on anyone. Like, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. Like, that's not how I roll. It's kind of like, what makes sense for you to be authentic and relate to your audience at the same time? Because most people who think about marketing, it's about like, I need to tell people how wonderful I am, when I'm like, no, that's not it at all. Marketing is all about telling people how you help. And when you shift that focus from yourself to your audience, it's amazing how the content just seems to flow.
Yeah, if we could probably sit here and talk about your creative yet outside the box yet practical strategies for a few more hours. But all right, we're gonna let you're gonna do the outro for us here today. You're gonna talk about the business a little bit, and then how people can get a hold of you so that way they can start thinking outside the box yet still be practical in their marketing.
Okay, so outro. All right. I didn't fully prepare for this. So Rebel Girl Marketing is all about helping small businesses stop committing random acts of marketing, because we commit random acts of marketing all the time because we're so busy. We don't think about it till all of a sudden, like, oh, I didn't do a post this week. It's 5:00 on Friday. I better throw something out there. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about Rebel Girl Marketing as your trainer, as your educator, as to like how to create great marketing that resonates with your audience, has a higher ROI, and has the thing that we create something that it's actually fun to talk about your business again. We have a lot of fun in our classes. And so if you want to get a hold of me, rebelgirlmarketing.com. I have a book on Amazon, Rebel Girl's Guide to Marketing. I know, a lot of Rebel Girl, a lot of marketing.
That's good.
But the other thing I do is I also teach you how to sell, because marketing is only going to take you so far. You've got to learn how to close the business. So I guess if I was going to say something, go to rebelgirlmarketing.com. I've got lots of different ways to work with me, and let me help you sell more in 2026.
That is amazing. So we appreciate your time. And now we all have to stop and think about why we're doing our business and creative ways to make it practical. So we appreciate you today.
Thank you very much. It was so fun having you being on.